I really enjoy watching a good horror movie in the dark. I love doing that. It really gets you into the movie, really makes you feel like you're there. So, in the spirit of Halloween, I compiled a list of movies to watch in the dark. So here is 13 movies to watch in the dark. Paranormal Activity. I enjoy the idea of found footage movies. It is definitely overused for sure, but Paranormal Activity, when I first saw it, I really got scared. It makes you feel like you're actually there. It's definitely a movie that when you go home, or if you're watching it at home, when you're gonna go to bed, you're gonna want to see with the lights on. You feel uncomfortable, and I enjoy that in watching found footage movies. Found footage movies can definitely be good. As long as it's done correctly, it's fine. A lot of people hate on found footage movies, but I believe that if the person has the right idea and does it correctly, it will be good. The Blair Witch Project. Here's another found footage movie. Don't worry, not all these movies are found footage movies, just the first two. Blair Witch Project is another good found footage movie. I actually didn't see it until maybe like a year ago, or a year or 2 years ago. I always wanted to watch it when I was younger. I just never did. And when I watched it, I was like, it's good. It's a good movie. It definitely creeps you out. It definitely gives you that feeling of like, because it's in the woods, and in the woods it's very dark. There's a lot of trees. You don't know what's around you. It's the fear of the unknown, which definitely makes the viewer uncomfortable, which is good. Insidious. Now, Insidious is definitely on my list of one of my favorite horror movies, just because of what it was done in the movie. It did something it used an idea that is always brought up with horror movies, of the whole like there's something behind you, the whole jump scares, the feeling of the unknown, being lost, being invaded of who you like, of what you possess and where you live, and it just put that up all the way up to here. It was well done, and not a spoiler or anything, but there's a part of the movie where Patrick Wilson, I think his name is, the main actor, he's talking, and then like the monster's right behind him. No loud thump, nothing like that, which I love so much. I didn't see that coming. I was just like watching the movie. Oh, the hell was that? Yeah, that's how I react. Ju-on. The next movie is Ju-on? You know The Grudge? Yeah, the Japanese version. Well, Japanese version, then the American version, which was The Grudge. Ju-on. Ju-on. I saw The Grudge first, and I was creeped out. I was creeped out. And then I watched it a second time, and I was like, yeah, that jump scare part. Then can you speak straight? I watched Ju-on. I almost crapped my pants. Some people may say, it's not that scary, come on, it's just a little dead child. Ju-on is, I have so much respect for that movie, just because on how it was done. I love Japanese horror movies for two reasons. One, they don't care. They do not care about what they put on screen. They will do anything they can to scare the audience, which I love. And two, they have really good freaking ideas, I tell you that. They have very bizarre ideas, but it's like, I would never thought of that ever. It's that movie that when you are watching it in the dark, in the middle of the night, of a stormy night, all by yourself, you're gonna want to turn off the movie and watch SpongeBob. It's a film that it makes you uncomfortable. It's just very creepy. It's like, when I first watched it, I watched it by myself the first time. creeped the hell out. Then the second time I watched it with my friends. And usually when I watch a horror movie that I've seen before with my friends, I like seeing their reactions, but I didn't do that because I was so into the movie that I got scared again. I was like, this is just, it's creepy. Like, the next movie is Sinister. Here's another movie that I fairly enjoyed. I wouldn't say it's my favorite like horror movie, but it could be on the list, I guess. But Sinister, when I first saw the trailer, again, quick side note, I hate it nowadays when a horror movie releases a trailer because all the scares are in the trailer. Why? Why do they do that? It completely ruins it. Anyway, Sinister. It's a good movie. It's definitely a very disturbing movie. Now, when I mean disturbing, I don't mean Japanese film disturbing. I don't mean German movie disturbing. I don't mean simulated snuff film disturbing. I'm talking about disturbing as in more realistic style, because it's, well, when I say realistic, I don't mean a ghost that lives in images. I mean has a man moves into a house, well, his family moves into the house, the father finds tapes in the attic and watches the little tapes or the little film reels, and it's just like families being killed. That's freaking creepy. If you watch this movie and you're the kind of person that doesn't like horror movies, I don't even know why you're watching this, but if you like horror movies and you like getting yourself scared, watch the movie by yourself. It definitely gives a full effect. That's how I watched it the first time. I didn't see it in theaters. I watched it at home by myself. And when I was watching it, the jump scares didn't get me, but it's that movie that after you finish watching it, it gets you thinking. The next movie is The Exorcist from 1973. The Exorcist is possession film. You know, girl gets possessed. Priest comes and gets the devil out of her, all that. You know, if you've seen any possession film, any movie that has to deal with an exorcism going on, then you understand it. The reason why I put this movie on the list is because it was one of my favorite exorcism films. There's the newer exorcism movies, which weren't bad, but there's a reason why they're not on the list. It's a creepy movie. For me, I like watching that movie with other people just to see their reaction, especially showing this movie to people who cannot stand horror movies, which is the best effect. But you watch the movie by yourself, in the dark, again, it's not just to scare you, it's more to immerse yourself into the movie, and it gives you the sense of feeling like, man, this is just weird. The Conjuring. The Conjuring is another movie that is one of my favorite horror movies. Very much enjoyed this movie. I watched it in theaters with a bunch of friends, got scared. I can even say a little thing that happened, me and my friend. We both screamed like girls and were hugging each other during the part where the ghost lady was on top of the dresser and pounced onto the girl. I jumped when they showed her, but when she bounced on the girl, I couldn't stop laughing. That was hilarious. But Conjuring is a good horror movie. It can definitely scare you if you've never seen it before. If you've seen it before, so I've seen it maybe 3-4 times. I know. I like rewatching movies. I don't know why. I just do. If you've seen it more than once, the jump scares at some points, they're not going to affect you, but you're going to appreciate the movie much more than what it is. It's a good horror movie, a good movie to watch in the dark. It's made for that. That's what I would say. The next movie is The Ring. The only reason I put this movie on the list was because I couldn't think of another movie. I just couldn't. And it was the movie I just finished watching while I was writing a list of movies, which I have right here. There's no point to show it. It's all scribble scrabble. The Ring. It is a creepy movie. It's a movie that you're watching it. It's not a bad movie. It's just like you're watching this, and again, for me, it's kind of difficult to think of a good film to put on the list that will scare the crap out of you. But this is more movies that if you're gonna watch it, a person who's not really used to horror movies, because I watched horror movies my entire life, and there's not much that would faze me in horror movies anymore unless I watch a Japanese film. Damn. But The Ring, you know, watch the film. You're gonna get a phone call. You die in 7 days. It's just creepy. It gives you that feeling of like, stop looking at me. It's like when they show the girl in the movie, you're like, don't look at me. Gross. The next movie is Halloween from 1978. Haha, I was right. Halloween, the whole Michael Myers movies, the Halloween movies, the original ones, those were like I think they were like one of my first horror movies that involved a killer. Well, besides Friday the 13th, which I watched the show actually, if you never heard of it. But it was one of the movies that I really got into. If I watch it now, I'm gonna be like, stupid girl, don't go in the house. But it's a good like kind of movie where that can actually happen. That's the creepy part. All that can actually happen. Some guy can put on a creepy looking mask, can get a knife and just lose it and do that. That's the creepy part of it. But nowadays, well, it can still happen now if the girl is that stupid to do certain things. The next movie is The Wolfman. There's two of them. There's the one from 1941. Yes, I'm correct. 1941, and then the newer one that came out, I don't remember. I didn't write down the date. I forgot. In my opinion, I prefer the one from 1941 all the way. The Wolfman, it's a classic movie. Come on, you gotta watch The Wolfman. If you don't want to see the classic movie, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because it's not a classic movie that you can be bored of. It's a good movie. It's a very depressing monster movie, but it's a monster movie. Why would you not watch a monster movie in the dark? It's just to enjoy the presence of like, that's a Wolfman. Awesome. But if you don't want to watch a classic, you can end up watching the newer one, which it isn't that bad, but it's not scary. It's just a Wolfman movie. It's really not scary. Next movie is Scream. This movie again is just, it's not a disturbing movie. It's not that scary. It's just like you're cheering on to the person who is running away from the killer, you know, so they don't get caught, but they end up getting caught anyway. It's a cliche horror movie. Why wouldn't you watch a cliche horror movie in the dark? Why not? It sounds like fun. It's not really to scare yourself. It's more to just cheer on the girl who's about to get killed. Or some people prefer to, you know, cheer for the killer. I don't know who will do that. Next movie is Poltergeist. Yes, Poltergeist. The first Poltergeist. I rewatched it last night, and it's, I think, like 2 jump scares. Two of the jump scares in the movie got me, and it's not the jump scares that you're expecting nowadays, where it's like a giant noise that will make you deaf, and it's just a bunny rabbit. Like, really? No, it's a good jump scares. It's a ghost movie. Well, yeah, it is a ghost movie. Girl gets trapped into the whole spirit world thing. She's talking to the TV people. Really cool. It's an interesting film. I haven't watched the sequels to it. I kind of want to. I want to see the second one. I don't know about the rest. I know there's going to be a remake on it coming out soon or whenever it's coming out. I don't really know. I'm not a huge fan of remakes unless the person who directed it the first time is involved. Unless it's a remake from like the 30s or the 40s or something. And yeah, you get it. By the way, did you know in Poltergeist, the part where the mother, the very end of the movie, when the mother falls into the little, in the pool, and then she's a bunch of bodies, there's a bunch of bodies in there. Did you know those are actual, like, human remains? Yeah, I found that out too. It's creepy. And the last movie is The Strangers. This movie came out in 2008, I believe. Yes, 2008. And I never seen this movie before. I was just looking up movies, and I saw this movie, and I watched it. 2 days ago, actually, I watched it. And it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's the movie of... I can't even speak. It's a movie where you got a couple, they're in the house, and this is like around the times of like the Manson killings, like Charles Manson, you know, a bunch of people were breaking into the houses and killing people and stuff. But you have these three creepy looking people, they break into the house, trying to, you know, they kill the family, they're trying to kill them. If you see the ending, you know what it is, blah blah blah. It's a very suspenseful movie. It's a movie where you're gonna constantly be checking your doors and your windows to make sure they're locked, because this stuff can actually happen, and the movie's actually based on true events. I'm not sure if it's based off an actual occurrence that actually happened, like an actual story that happened, but it's definitely based on true events that happened before. So those were 13 movies to watch in the dark. I kind of, if you can notice, I talk better about certain movies than others, because the rest of the movies I just threw them on there to have 13 movies. But to be honest, only about like 7 of these movies I really enjoyed. The rest, eh. So those are 13 movies to watch in the dark. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, more reviews, more whatever I have going on my channel, hit the subscribe button. So that's it for now. So I will see you in the next one.